As President Biden deals with questions over his handling of that classified information, Communist China continues an aggressive advance of its agenda around the world, including here at home. The U.S. government has been on defense for more than a decade against the CCP, but a shift in attitude on a bipartisan basis may be happening. To discuss, Paul Boardman is here with us. He's the chairman of the Decoupled China PAC and the author of the daily Boardman report on the activities of China and the CCP. Paul, thank you for being with us.
Oh, Tom, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I want to start off with an important meeting that happened at the White House. We weren't talking about it much because of all of this, the document scandal. But this week, President Biden welcomed the Japanese Prime Minister to help ink a deal that will expand military and strategic cooperation in the Pacific Rim to counter China. Talk to us about this new posture in the Pacific.
Well, the Prime Minister is on a tour around the country to his allies, and inked a deal with the UK just a couple of days ago, and inked a deal with the United States just yesterday. So Biden has come out clearly and said that we are in lockstep with the Japanese, and we will be defending them.
How does this change in our posture, though, in terms of our military presence, in terms of Japan's military presence and activities in the region?
Well, immediately, Japan has welcomed a military base on Okinawa with U.S. Marines, and they're building a base outside of Taiwan to support any invasion by the CCP. So it's a very, very strong alliance. It's been developing for quite some time, and it's terrific to see.
All right, then the newly minted Congress, on a bipartisan basis this week, voted to prevent our strategic petroleum reserve from being sold to China. Were you surprised by the strong support from Democrats on that bill?
No, not at all. It's been brewing behind the scenes for a good 18 months. This legislation should move through the Senate. It should move through quickly if they come back into session, which is a question mark when they will do that. But the issue is that there are several pieces of legislation that should move forward. We should really look at this like gaining yardage, from TikTok to banning land to banning investments and other, from our pension funds.
Right.
These should go through Congress quickly, and they should pass the Senate.
Yeah, there does seem to be this growing consensus at a state and federal level, which is very positive, that the enemy isn't at the gate. As I've said before, they're in our living room, and we need to do something about it. For the new Congress, what's that low-hanging fruit for taking action against China?
Right. TikTok, it would be the issues that are out there that have been debated in the public, and they've been already concluded that we need to do something about them. But the White House hasn't been taking those positions, so Congress will have to do that. We should be able to get a ban on TikTok, medical equipment. We should be able to get prohibit pensions, surveillance equipment, and the land issue. That should be done very quickly. It should be done this week.
And some of this can also be done, particularly the land issue. That could also be done at a state level as well, correct?
And it has been. Indiana banned over 300 acres of land specifically from the CCP last year, and other states are moving in that direction. So most of these issues, there's been state action. So there's a groundswell behind those votes for the state or the federal legislators in the House and the Senate.
Yeah, I mean,
these should actually move forward quickly.
Yeah, I mean, what you're talking about, protecting our medications, protecting our healthcare infrastructure. These are all protecting our the surveillance equipment I saw that was on that list. That's your list, not ours. And that's all very commonsensical. We just haven't done it for years. We've had communist China buying up land, buying up food processors, and really squirreling their way into almost every aspect of our lives. Final question for you, Paul. Do we have any indication that the Democrat-controlled Senate would take up any of these measures?
Well, I do believe that the reason why President Biden has been moving on China at all is because of the Democratic senators who understand that they see the intel reports. If you talk to the intel community, if you talk to the military community, they understand the threat, the dire threat that the CCP poses. So he's getting advice, I believe, from those Democratic senators, and hopefully they will continue that, and they will work together with the U.S. a Republican Congress with the new speaker,
Well,
and they can work together and hash this out and get it done.
yeah, this could be a very positive bipartisan move and a bipartisan shift, not only federally but also at a state level. We're going to keep an eye on it. Paul Boardman of Decouple China and the Boardman Report. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it very much.